the iconic LeBlanc. He retired, actually, as the best LeBlanc in the world.
Did he?
Yeah, he did.
Was that before Faker was a player?
Oh, no.
No.
He dethroned it from him. What are you talking
I
about?
don't quite remember. I mean, you work for Hotshot GG, don't you?
True.
Yeah. Any truers? Well,
Hopefully
I
we
feel
don't
like
see
you
any
should
team
know-
getting CLG'd this game.
I feel like you should know more of Hotshot's history, to be honest.
Well, I came into League a little late.
Yeah, okay. That's a good
Season
point.
4.
All right. Well, this is going to be your DragonX composition. Not having to deal with any Soraka's this time, but there is still an Ornn over the other side. And now Cuzz's nidalee is going to be running around the Rift, causing a ruckus. Whether that's going to be what gets T1 over the line in this game, we are yet to find out, but this is a much more balanced draft than what we saw in game number 1.
It's
And,
a lot more balanced.
Yeah, and this time it's Cuzz that's on his signature pick.
Yeah.
So can Pyosik actually outplay Cuzz, who's sitting on extreme comfort right now?
We'll have to see. And like you said, it is a lot more balanced. There's still a lot of scaling. Very peculiar. This nidalee, there's not actually like a lot of reason to have it in this spot. This is really just pure player comfort.
Yeah, not a lot of poke necessarily, which is what you pair nidalee with, but it is poke and engage. So you see a spear land, and it's non-committal, but then Faker can blow the horn, and then the nidalee can dive in and try and assassinate, right? And then he can use the horn for multiple different things, namely disengage or just continued engage.
If you asked me to tell you who I think won draft, I would say DragonX, just because this nidalee is so out of place in this draft, because can't reliably jump onto Sett, can't reliably jump onto Ziggs, ends up having worse poke than Ziggs because of the way that nidalee tends to itemize in the current meta. And the isolated 1v1,
Okay.
it's still pretty fine for DragonX, and then obviously the bottom lane,
Where is Pyosik?
T1 has an edge.
Are we trying to answer this invade? They're so far out of Fog of War, you can see that they are skirting around. I believe they know that that ward is there. Keria gets a cheeky one in. Now T1 walking over Vision. That's a great two-man knocker. They're getting the red buff involved. None of these spears have landed. Cuzz has already gone through a lot of his mana.
This is a nightmare.
Yeah.
If you're a T1 fan, I don't know what they're doing, but you can see Faker missing a lot of CS, and now Keria's here. Cuzz is...
Yeah, Grand Entrance, remember, was taken as there's the Ignite. Oh, the flash was answered so beautifully, but they have to get this kill done. They do it. And now T1's bottom lane has to head for the hills as Chovy had already had that wave shoved in. Perfect planning from DRX.
And Chovy just insta-shoving the waves because he's Ziggs. And now Cuzz is going to be light years behind. And when you consider that, again, the nidalee, very out of place. She doesn't have a purpose in this team composition. You want to talk about an AP champion that synergizes with Ornn and Renekton, you're thinking Taliyah, especially because of how much Taliyah scales compared to nidalee.
I mean, the reason why nidalee was picked here was obviously to make Pyosik irrelevant. That was the plan.
Well,
but it just hasn't happened, right? Like, you still have to play it effectively.
I don't know what he was thinking here.
The answer from Keria was really beautiful
both
with that Grand Entrance positioning.
His bot lane and his mid lane are both behind in priority. And there's no universe where Lee Sin would just ever allow that to become a smite fight. I believe Deft just lost the cannon. And so I feel like that's a go next fast, but I'm not entirely sure.
I mean, Deft right now is currently sitting at 11 CS in the lead after the first couple of waves, which isn't too bad. They'll crash this one. I believe Deft might go for that cheetah recall. He's been learning. Might look for that cull. We did see it in his inventory earlier on.
I think they're going to go and get Scuttlecraft. He's actually not doing anything, so just a pretty big waste of time. A little bit slow. Never mind, they're going to move over. They're going to get the Scuttle Crab on the right-hand side and then come back to a favorable lane. Cuzz is so far behind.
Yeah, only level 2, as they do grab that Rift Scuttler.
And it's saying that the last time nidalee was picked was 600 days ago, but no, we saw a nidalee.
That was at Rift Rivals.
No.
So in the LCK, it's been 600 days since nidalee, but Cuzz did play it for DragonX at Rift Rivals in 2019.
No, I was casting the game, and I wasn't at Rift Rivals.
Hey, that's true.
That stat's wrong. I was casting his nidalee game because I was saying about how risky it was. I think I was with you.
Oh, so maybe so this is regular season LCK maybe? But that was in the World's Gauntlet?
Stat.
That was the World's Gauntlet that he played it, didn't he?
That's in the LCK.
That's what I would have thought as well.
That didn't say regular season. That stat's wrong. See, I just channeled my inner Papa Smithy.
Yeah.
And to pull that one out.
Well, there you go.
There you
Nailed
go.
it. We'll make a Papa review yet. Don't you worry.
I believe that it was actually also played on red side. Because I remember seeing a javelin spear out of the brush near top lane. That's all that my memory is. Yeah.
We're getting there. I believe you. I trust you. Don't worry.
Right.
It's Faker losing a little bit in this mid-game. Wants to get towards Abyssal Mask as early as possible. Currently is taking a fair bit of poke before a Null Magic Mantle or anything has been picked up. You can see Chovy electing for double Doran's Ring to try and make this lane as comfortable as possible for him. We'll have that lost chapter built up relatively soon. Gonna get face broken as Doran's pretty happy in this lane. One of the first times we've seen Sett in a straight-up matchup.
Yeah.
Quite some time.
The Renekton can actually do stuff against Sett with his Slice and Dice.
And we'll
against the Haymaker.
Those minions being a little bit frustrating here for Canna. Couldn't quite get to his
yet again, though,
his Predator.
All that we see happening is the laners are waiting to lose.
Well, now Pyosik is over the wall. He will need to invest in control work to get over here. That means that he does know exactly where Cuzz is, meaning the rest of the lanes will be able to play with reckless abandon. As Doran finds a Haymaker. He just wants to clear out this minion wave by the looks.
This makes him susceptible here to an all-in by Canna, though.
Yeah, this is very risky. Oh, Doran, you need to... Yeah, he is going to back away now. Just made sure he got all of the experience by the looks of things.
Canna has teleport available, has the lane in a really good spot. Looks like he's going to back up, possibly just recall once he's guaranteed the freeze. Yep.
Yep, so the Renekton's in a good spot.
Yeah, he'll teleport right back onto the wave. He'll maintain it. And then nidalee could just do Raptor Camp and then try to go back to top lane immediately. Doesn't actually TP onto the wave.
Interesting, not going to be able to hold that position as Cuzz walks over a ward, and once again, the nidalee has been spotted. Effort and Teddy starting to play a little bit more aggressively here in this lane. 9 CS down. Right now, BF Sword was able to be purchased there by Deft on his first recall, but same could be said for Teddy.
At
a lot of these feathers and stars dotting the ground.
The problem is, though, is that just like in game number 2, and unfortunately similar to game number 1, T1, they're just waiting to die, and what I mean by that is all of their lanes, with the exception of Canna up here, is losing, as it currently stands. And because they have misaligned champions, nidalee doesn't have a real Ornn item that she can end up purchasing. It's too expensive for her to try to get death cap, especially when she has such a stunted early game. Zanya's Hourglass isn't that ideal against DragonX.
And so otherwise it's like, what, Luden's Focus?
Well, you can't even get Luden because you have Runic.
Yeah.
And so you don't have an Ornn item. And the Renekton is just a decaying champion. He falls off so hard and so quickly. I mean, he's going even right now, and so he's already falling off simply because he's going even.
Well, he's slicing, he's dicing, he's trying to get around this lane. Remember, Showstopper is available here, so look for Doran's positioning. If he's near a turret, there is a chance that he can turn around fights like this. As Pyosik now thinking of taking a little jaunt towards the top side. Cloud Drake going to be taken here by T1, so Cuzz able to get one on the board there, as the next one's going to be Infernal. We've got Mountain or Ocean as far as our souls this game. Both of them being decent choices for either team. Doran going to be building pretty tanky. Of course, Faker is going to be pretty tanky as well. He's currently down a lot of farm, but he's an Ornn. So you need to look at that with a little bit of a caveat.
And at this point, T1 continuing to just sort of idly farm everything. And I mean, likewise as well, DragonX isn't really doing anything with their jungler either. We're just actually playing Plants vs Zombies or something as everyone's farming. The unfortunate thing for T1 though is that DragonX laners are consistently winning.
That's the problem. So the handshake is one that you're much happier if you're a DragonX fan for seeing, as Deft and Keria looking to take away another Rift Stellar. Trying to keep it CC'd as much as possible to maximize that damage. Deft can Blade Call again, but no, doesn't even need to. That's his second one. Still retains that 10 CS advantage. Plus that extra, what? 300 gold?
From Shuttlecrab?
Yeah, so 250 gold, sorry, from Double Scuttles. Very, very nice. It's Keria, Gleaming Quill to the face of Teddy. Bit of a tickle, but otherwise not too much. As 1100 gold is the approximate lead here for DragonX. And tick past 10.
Pyosik coming down here now into bot lane.
All right, Featherstorm going to be traded with that bullet time as Pyosik is in there and just places Shelly right in the middle of this lane. Cuzz is waiting in the wings. Q goes over to the side, and I believe the nidalee. Oh god, Keria taking a lot of damage there.
Never mind, Deft.
Yeah, plates do happen as Deft, very late flash, but is able to do it. Chovy moving on down here as well, and T1 knows it. It will have to be scared of the Mega Inferno Bomb. Steady, the only man underneath this turret. Faker, when he gets down here, that's when DragonX need to start respecting, because the Ornn can wreak havoc in the middle of a tower dive like that. Keria does still get hit by that Dark Binding and is unable to clear out that ward. 2.5 minutes on the next Drake. Chovy sidestepping the spears. That is going to be the important part. Skill shots going wide on both sides, actually.
And it looks like they wanted to recall, but not today.
Yep, Keria going to dive on in. Teddy with his black shield's going to stay alive, but Deft, he's being caught up. Just going to try and take down Effort with him, but I don't think he can 1v3, my friend, and even holds onto his heel knowing that he was dead.
So right there, that's a very nice big tempo swing for T1 down there in bot lane. 2 minutes until the Infernal Dragon is coming up. Faker should be able to get to Abyssal Mask before then. Luden's Echo going to be completed by Chovy.
He should have that on his next back as well. Currently with a pretty gigantic CS advantage. Faker just builds his Abyssal Mask.
We're
going to have a look at this one once again.
At how this is all transpiring. And Effort, he just flashes in there, and even without sight, knows, okay, you just went in. There's no way that they can end up living. Cuzz able to come down from the river, help out with this. They get the kill, and meanwhile, in mid lane, Chovy gets canceled. One ultimate.
Yeah, that was the flash.
Yeah.
Going on over. Faker eating Skittles on the ground. They look delicious.
Are you a Skittles or an M&M guy? M&M guy.
M&M.
I'm
probably more partial to M&Ms.
Which kind?
Sometimes
Regular
I'm
or peanuts?
Oh, I love peanut.
Yeah, peanut M&Ms, they are. Yeah. Honestly, yeah. That's the only right answer.
Yeah. Which you can't eat at all.
No, I can.
What? Why can you eat peanuts?
Peanuts are a legume. Okay.
What? All right.
Almonds, walnuts, things like that. They're fruits. They contain a different protein.
Got it. And that's why you're allergic
to that. Yes.
So you're like allergic to every nut other than peanuts, which is the most common nut allergy, actually.
Yeah, isn't that great?
It's kind of ironic, isn't it?
Yeah.
I like that.
I like it too. Yeah.
It's cool. You just want to be different. You know?
Yeah.
You want to stand out. And you did that with your allergy.
Thank you.
Which is very impressive.
You know, I was really trying.
Yeah, well, skill shots are going really wide if we pay our attention back to the video game at hand. DragonX still with a small lead, but otherwise, it's not a big deal. And there is an Infernal Dragon to be taken. Cuzz is in position, Chovy not going to get hit by that spear. Pyosik as well, avoiding one as Keria just starts up the Drake. T1 with 4 members down here, top laners both with teleport. Are able to get in there. Pyosik, I don't think he's even going to go for a steal. They're just going to give this away. We're going for a Mountain Soul after this. If T1 can continue this straight control, it's going to be huge. Especially
if they can pick up the Mountain Souls for the way that they end up itemizing. Because there, we see the nidalee item, which is coming in. It's going to be the Athene's Unholy Grail. And so it's a very supportive kind of nidalee. Faker's dead.
Yep, Pyosik should be able to find him here as no. Not going to lock down the kick.
This isn't.
As Pyosik does eventually grab it. Cuzz might be able to answer it back, though, as he's going to miss the spear. The minions in a frustrating position. Fairly comfortable kill, but a little bit of a mechanical misplay there by Pyosik.
A little bit slow on the trigger mechanically. And now Wave has crashed in completely in mid lane. Chovy going to end up recalling. Black Cleaver is going to be the item of choice on both Sett and on Lee Sin.
He'll stack it up a little bit faster there because both of them not super great at stacking that one.
Yeah. Faker just ends up dying. There's really no way out here if Pyosik and Chovy don't make any mistakes.
And it was almost closer than you'd like. That being said, Chovy continues to pummel these minion waves one after the other. 38 odd minions in the lead. Deft and Keria doing Deft and Keria things on the bottom side of the map with their 10 CS advantage still there and have been able to finally take down the turret that did have the help of the Rift Herald this time around. So it's not like we're going to talk about smashing the lane or anything like that, because that was largely to do with Pyosik being there. Alright, Mega Inferno Bomb does fly in, but the rest of T1, the cavalry has arrived. And it looks like Shirley will defect from Shelly's alignment and allegiance, and we'll head over to the T1 side of the camp. We'll see where they do drop this particular Rift Herald.
Well, everyone just really continuing to scale up right now. Pyosik has actually fallen behind in XP. Almost has his Black Cleaver complete. He's going to be able to hit level 10 off that Scuttle Crab, unless Faker somehow steals it away.
Well, they might just try and go for a kill here as Bellow's Breath does avoid the knock-up. Faker taking a lot of damage, but the rest of his team are going to come in. There's the Soul Shackles, great kick to get effort out of there. He wasn't fast enough on the Black Shield as Q's going to land, and now in goes the Showstopper, but Faker stops the show there with the Black Shield on top of him. I think maybe they expected that one to be on cooldown. It looks like Effort was diligent in holding onto it until something real did threaten his team.
And now there's 2 minutes until the Mountain Dragon's going to end up coming up. They did get the Scuttle Crab, but not going to be the end of the world. Also, Faker, this is the second time, I believe. Oh, hold on.
Deft is going to try and kill Effort. 1 versus 2. Mega Inferno Bomb. Great timing as Teddy has to flash. And DragonX just brute forcing the mid lane here.
Yeah.
4 members. The 5th in Doran is going to turn up in the flanking position.
And I believe they're going to stop the recall, yeah.
And also these turrets go down so incredibly fast because the explosive charge is there. It only needs to get to 30% and then that turret is just dead. Thankfully, T1 are able to at least deal with that minion wave, and now Canna up towards the top side is able to at least claim some tempo back. But honestly, DragonX have really turned up the pressure this stage of the game and now transitioning towards the Crocodile.
Ooh. Doran.
Yeah, Facebreaker not going to find it. Slice enough to get the Crocodile far enough away.
And they're bringing Chovy up here into top lane just to try to raise this turret really quickly.
Feels like Deft has lost his job. He was the turret destroyer. And now we've got Chovy here.
Yeah, Demolitionist.
Yeah, with his satchel. Look at the satchel in position. Oh no, can they do enough damage to it? No, they can't. It's a little bit of a shame. And now it's satchelable. There we go. Oh,
okay.
Sometimes the bounces are just wrong.
Yeah.
You know, you can't blame Chovy for that. Sometimes it just doesn't work out.
Also, as I was mentioning earlier, it's really surprising Faker. This is twice in a row now that he's going for Iceborne Gauntlet on Ornn. And it's so surprising.
Perhaps likes the extra CC and damage or something.
Don't
instead
say the mana.
of the other stuff. Yeah, no, I'm not saying the mana.
Well, I'm not sure what Chovy's building. He had a Blasting Wand, and then he ended up picking up a needlessly large rod. So
he just wants flat AP.
Yeah, it does seem like he wants flat AP before this Mountain Drake. Perhaps he's viewing it as he has nothing else valuable that he could end up picking up, but
I don't mind it. I mean, Death Cap is going to be the biggest bang for your buck at this stage. As Doran has found Canna off to the side. It's a fight on two fronts at this stage. Thank goodness we can zoom out. The bouncing bombs are going everywhere. Hextech Minefield down as well as Cuzz. Oh, just basically eliminated with the feathers being recalled. And now DragonX looking for their first straight. T1 desperately want to steal this one away to threaten Seoul Point. But it looks like it might just be a team fight as Doran pulls back Canna. He's down to about half. As Deft staying in a decent position, but does get found. Now Pyosik should be able just to lock down this dragon pretty easily.
And this is what we were talking about earlier, where Ziggs' poke is infinitely more reliable and problematic than nidalee's.
Yeah.
Where it doesn't really matter that you have a nidalee. It is so much harder for her to actually apply her poke, whereas Ziggs has 3 abilities that he can keep throwing out with the Luden's Echo, deal so much more damage.
And also, I mean, nidalee's changed, right? She's not the same kind of poke champion that you talk about in, like, Season 4. Because that was when her spears just did ridiculous damage. And it was silly. Their hitbox was disgusting. And basically, you only needed that one ability to win the game. Talk to Rusty about it. He was a one-trick nidalee mid player, and he was very, very good. Of course, Faker also a very, very good nidalee mid player, but it's going back a very, very long time. But now, landing a Q is more like giving you an avenue to start a fight, right? It allows you to get that execute damage in there, marking up your targets, things like that. She's a very different champion than what she used to be. And so using her as a poke bot, especially when you have the accuracy that Cuzz has been demonstrating thus far, isn't what you really want. As Deft will have to ult. Dark Binding, not exactly in the greatest of positions, but trading ult for ult there. Longer cooldown on the Featherstorm as opposed to the Ornn, as you can see. So now T1 might find themselves with an advantageous teamfight opportunity as Pyosik just steals that one away with a smite. Not too bad at all. Salt's going to injury here for Cuzz in a lot of these instances.
We have about 4 minutes left until the end of the game.
Okay. 25 minutes, is that the end?
Well, basically the end. Not quite the end, but it's really close.
Well, what's going to happen?
Well, there's going to be a team fight, Atlus.
I mean, I've been telling you to stop reading the script. You know, come on the journey.
I can't help it.
But apparently, it's there, so you must read. Is that why you hate Morellonomicon so much? Because you couldn't help but read it? If it was ever in front of you?
I read it, I don't think I'd still be alive.
Well, that's what I mean. I'm glad you've never been near it.
Yeah.
Otherwise, we'd be having to rush you to the emergency room.
That's why Leandre's Torment is called Torment.
Yeah, well.
She got a hold of it once.
Yeah, just once. And even then, it was taken away from her.
Exactly.
Very quickly.
It drove her to madness.
Yeah.
Each
wasn't
page.
enough. Yeah, it's madness first and then instant death.
Yeah.
Something first and then something else instantly. Doesn't make sense at all. But I hope you guys understood what I meant. As it's not exactly a gigantic gold advantage. T1 could still outplay themselves out of this. However, they need to be doing it uphill, which is not how they were able to win Game 1. And DragonX showed that even in Game 1 they had great moments, but in Game number 2 it felt like T1 didn't even have any avenue for victory because DragonX were just so consistently better in their team fighting.
And then this game again, pretty much the same. Just a lot of waiting right now, and Obsidian Cleaver was built for Canna up there in top lane. Molten Edge going to be completed soon, and then after that, it's going to be a while until Cuzz and Morgana both respectively have their Xayah's Hourglass in order to be upgraded to Xayah's
Rolex.
Stasis.
Xayah's Rolex, absolutely.
Or no, Xayah's Paradox.
Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah.
Why are you saying the real names? That's nowhere near as fun. That's not your shtick.
What do you want me to say?
That's not your shtick.
What do you want me to say?
You're the Aatrox guy. Come on. Do the fun names. As Deft, once again, has the Featherstorm available. Not exactly the best target for the Ornn, but does mean that now they're not going to have that for the next engagement. And that's why Faker is trying to find Pyosik. Kicks Faker into Cuzz, trying to get a little bit of damage there, but just trading ultimate cooldowns wherever they like, apparently.
And Ziggs just trying to dish out a lot of poke before this team fight. Both top laners have teleport available. Doran, I think he's trying to get level 15 to catch up to Canna. Still doesn't have it yet.
Field down so that Faker can't get towards this minion wave, but I believe he's not going to be too worried. And just, in fact, decides to go into his shop for a moment. Create himself some more items. Faker stepping quite far forward there as the bombs are actually doing a lot of damage. Faker doesn't have huge amounts of magic resist at this stage, and Chovy isn't the guy that's playing with all of that flat pan and investing money into that. It's just all straight numbers from this guy.
All right, and well, we're coming up on that 4-minute mark here, Atlus, as...
DragonX looking to try and trade an inner turret and maybe inhibitor turret.
Inhibitor?
But like, they eat through these turrets so fast. Mega Inferno Bomb actually did a fair bit of damage there to that Drake. But as you can see, this is what DragonX were looking for. Trying to break open this map is now Faker looking for that flanking play. Featherstorm not available. This is the time to fight with Faker's ultimate now back up. But DragonX have bought themselves enough space. They won't be able to do that again though, because Mountain Soul will be very important to T1 for weathering all of this poke.
Yeah, that was a very bizarre decision as well. I'm so surprised that they elected to do that.
It does give them a lot more control of this Baron pit, which is where DragonX want to be transitioning towards as far as fighting around. Chovy, intelligent move, decides instead of finishing off his hat, he's got his Void Staff, meaning that when that Death Cap does come in, it's going to be ludicrous amounts of damage.
Yeah.
But now at least he's able to poke down Faker a little bit more reliably. Now making his way towards topside, you can see Keria is poking his head in towards this Baron pit to try and get that vision. And Doran's now set up shop towards the bottom side and misses a cannon creep. Not what you want, but sometimes reality is not exactly where you're intending life to go.
And honestly, they're just back to playing ping pong at this stage of the game. 3.5 minutes until Soul Point comes online for T1. If they can end up getting that, they could have a pretty real chance at winning this game. They're down about 3,500, almost 4,000 gold. And when you consider that even though the ornaments are coming in, these aren't the best ornament items to end up having picked up.
We'll have them relatively soon, and of course Molten Edge is fantastic. The Abyssal Mask is certainly good, but yeah, you're right. And Cuzz is taking a long time getting towards anything. And as you can see, Effort hasn't even put anything towards his Zhonya's at this stage. As Doran gonna find Canna here, finds the Haymaker, cancels a whole bunch of autos as Deft comes down. I believe Doran probably wanted to get in front of Canna there, or bait out a slice and a dice. But unable to deliver a kill over to Deft. Because of course, knowledge of Deft's positioning walking down that river was there. I believe Scuttle Vision available. No, just a ward in the river. I tell a lie. And now DragonX just looking to try and clear out some vision here in what is a pretty dark jungle that T1 should have control of themselves. Zombie wards and traps sort of everywhere here. Still, DragonX will just sweep on through. Lock this one down. Now, one thing that we haven't spoken about, I guess, since Chovy's last Ziggs game, being the only guy that plays Ziggs so far in the LCK, is Ziggs' ability to set up around a Baron. Because if you're taking it, and you've got Ziggs as a bouncer, I know he looks small, but he is very frustrating to deal with. Because the minefield is so powerful at creating zones of control. Finds a satchel charge there onto Effort. And look, this damage starts to stack up.
And T1, I mean, they're posturing around this Baron. They acknowledge that DragonX could try to shred through it very quickly. Keria trying to get a Demolish proc off onto that turret. Not able to.
Whoa, Deft just flashed into the Baron pit.
And they know that DragonX are trying to start this Faker with a flank. Deft doesn't have ult available.
We're teleporting into the pit. We're going for this 50-50, but no, there's the knock-up onto Cuzz. We've locked down the Baron on DragonX's side, but at what cost is the question. Already two are dead as Keria is running away from Effort. He does go into stasis. There's the bouncing bomb. And it looks like Chovy is the only man allowed to dress in purple this time around.
I don't know what to say, Atlus. That was one of the weirdest Barons that
great
just
call.
started.
I mean, they did get the Baron.
They did get it, and Chovy does still have it. So when you consider the turrets going down, that's sort of evened out by the Baron. But obviously losing all of the members
and
is
there's 30
so
seconds
awful.
left on Mountain Soul.
Yes.
So everyone will be available. Doran has teleport. Chovy has teleport.
This is the 5-head play.
But they need to
They're
get into
gonna get
position
up
to fight.
and get into position for the Mountain. They removed the Baron. Now they're going to win the Dragon and then win the game because the opponent is depleted on resources. So,
Well, there we go. That might be it.
they're starting up the Baron. You see Keria, he can't really do anything. He's just looking for Cuzz to lock him up, which is what he ends up doing. Faker has such a good angle.
And Deft actually, you know, he didn't actually have a chance to use a flash even if he had it available.
Yeah.
Because he was just knocked up and obliterated by the bullet time. As now DragonX, they've started up the Drake. But in comes the Ornn. Doran's going to get knocked up, but the Ornn's not actually going to get too much done with that call of the Forge God. And T1 are going to pull back to battle lines. Pyosik not even near this Drake at the moment as Doran is keeping it. Relatively aggroed is okay. Over the wall goes Keria, but into the backline goes Canna. Just obliterates Deft. Not a chance to do anything. Haymaker also not able to lock anyone down as the Mountain Drake went over to Pyosik, but the team fight is all T1. And they've come together in the clutch, and now they're ahead by about 1,000.
So they're ahead right now. Deft died with his ultimate up. Keria as well.
Yeah.
And it really does look like they're sort of falling apart, and I don't know what would be causing it. From the initial decision to trade the two mid-tier, the mid-tier 2 and the mid-tier 3 turret for the Mountain Drake, which has brought the game to Soul Point, to that random Baron decision. T1 are now back in the game, even though nothing happened. 4 kills occurred at the Baron. Now let's take a look at this team fight, where Pyosik manages to win the 50-50 as Keria was up there with Canna, and then Deft just gets flashed on by Canna and deleted immediately.
He obviously really didn't want to use his ult if it wasn't for a team fight. It just wasn't the right call. Steady now 2-0 and 6, really out-carrying Deft in this game.
Well,
I don't know what it is, whether it's tilt or something else, but Deft doesn't feel like himself at this particular point in time. He had ult and stopwatch to try and avoid it, but it looks like the flash in from Canna was just too much.
and I don't really know what to think at this point. I would still say that DragonX are favored in a straight-up team fight, one that involves the Xayah not disappearing before everything commences.
Yep.
Death Cap also completed for Chovy. Should be Leandri's as the next item. He does have a Blasting Wand.
Yeah, Blasting Wand is in, so see whether that does turn towards the Burning Face. Doran now looking for Canna. Superplex to start this one off as Deft is going to do a lot of damage, but kickback on top of the Xayah is not necessarily what the Xayah wants. There's a teleport in from Faker. Deft avoids that. And Canna is still alive here as Spooky Ghosts. Pyosik now trying to play more of that peeling role as the Sett is dead, and Canna survived through all of it. The rest of his friends turning up on time.
So they end up actually trading Canna's Guardian Angel for
the
Doran's
bullet
life.
time. Massive damage there as in goes Faker, just tanking up the turret, not too worried about it, but maybe he should be as Black Shield does come in. Canna was in the wrong spot, so unable to actually protect his mid laner. Now no summoner spells available for Faker, does have the spellbook, but will not be able to teleport back. As some weird stuff is happening this game. I feel like both teams need to calm down just a little bit. So we have a look at this one once again.
You can see Doran sneaking his way in here onto Canna, superplexing to start everything off. Dragon kick by Pyosik to knock him back in. Deft loses a lot of HP, respects the Ornn TP, and then T1 faster to collapse, even though Chovy and Keria were both on the way. Faker ends up killing Doran. Does come again at the cost of the Guardian Angel.
The Mega Inferno Bomb was on cooldown as well. We do have that Zhonya's completed for Cuzz. Now has turned it into the upgraded version. As damage taken pretty high this game for our mid to top laners, but of course, Chovy taking a lot less than what Faker has been able to. And you can see Deft's number is much higher than Teddy's.
And Baron coming up in 30 seconds.
There's
Another
the
one ult.
Yeah, they're looking for Chovy. Mega Inferno Bomb does come in, but there's the bullet time.
Oh,
just
they got him!
gigantic damage. And Keria dies as an afterthought there, as well as now Canna looking for the slice, looking for the dice. Meek going to come in, and Deft eventually goes golden. But my god, the damage. The flash out, but there is nothing that he can do. Doran looking for 2 kills. Don't know whether he'll be able to find them as the kickback, as Teddy just immediately QSS's it, and will just continue shooting. T1 have turned it around. 13 kills to 3, and I believe most of those have happened in the last 10 minutes.
Pyosik.
Yeah, Teddy
Oh, we
taking
got
that
it
up.
with the
Yeah,
Q.
Pyosik's just going to die. Cuzz is going to lock that one down, and despite the draft, despite everything, T1 turn it and take down the Nexus over DragonX, but it's one hell of a series, and I can't wait for round 2.
And I'm trying to